Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm your girl PureTea, and I'm so glad that you're here. This space is all about real talk on topics that matter to us, like dementia, hair care, health, and mental well-being. My goal is to create a supportive community where we can learn, grow, and uplift each other. So grab your favorite cup of tea and let's dive into these conversations together. But before we do this, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on none of this real sugar honey iced tea. Let's get started, y'all. Hello, hello, hello. It's your girl Pure Tea, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about dementia. I'm just going to start off with what dementia is exactly and what causes it. And I will be adding some links um, in the bio so that if you need any information, like where to go, or resources, I will do all that. Bear with me, I'm new with this, so let's dive right in. So first thing is, everybody think that dementia is, I think, just about memory loss, but it's not. It's a lot that goes to it. So dementia is not a single disease. And first, let me say that this, for the Fair Act use, that this is all for education and informational purposes. And I'm using Alzheimer's Association to get a lot of my information from. They helped me a lot with just just a lot of. They helped me a lot when I was going through being a caregiver for my mom, but I'll talk about that part later too. So, dementia is a general term for loss of memory, language problems, solving, and other thinking abilities that are severe enough to interfere with daily life. Alzheimer's is the most common cause of dementia. So, a lot of people get Alzheimer's and dementia mixed up, but the difference is everyone with Alzheimer's has dementia, but everyone with dementia do not have Alzheimer's. So just know that. So dementia is not a single disease. It's an overall term to describe a collection of symptoms that one may experience if they are living with a variety of diseases, including Alzheimer's disease. Diseases grouped under the general term dementia are caused by abnormal brain changes. Dementia symptoms trigger a decline in thinking skills, also known as cognitive abilities, severe enough to impair daily life and independent functions. They also affect behavior, feelings, and relationships. So, true story. Like I said before, my mom, she passed away with dementia. So, I laugh because you'll know if you have dealt with someone with dementia, or if you are, you're really gonna have to find the humor in things to keep from crying. You have to. It's just a way to help you survive. So, uh, in the beginning with my mother, um, I remember it was something that was going on at her church, and they were changing pastors or something like that. And there was a pastor there that they were trying to get out because they found out the pastor was doing something wrong. So my mom was like the head one in charge. You know, she everybody was bringing the problems with her, but when I tell you that my mother called all her kids up to the church on this particular day because they were having a some type of I don't know, some type of protest or something to get this man out the church. My mother told the people in the church, "I don't fight, but my kids do." And she called her kids up there. So that was like that should have been that was the first red flag, but we still didn't know. We just thinking like, oh my God, my mom is being so feisty. So after that, it was a couple of incidents with people at the church. You know, one day she came home and she thought that somebody was trying to rip her off with a ticket to a ticket to a banquet. and she told me that she told the lady, "I'm not no fool. I know what you're trying to do." And she raised her cane at the lady and told her, "You better get out of my face or I'm gonna knock the fool out of you." I was like, "Mama, no, you didn't do that." She said, "Yes, I did." I was like, "Oh my God." So, needless to say, when I saw the lady again, I'm like, "Oh my God," I apologize to my mom because, I like the lady. She was cool. But seeing that she had went through something with her mother too, she, told me, "Don't worry about it." She was like, "I love your mama." So I was glad that people really, the ones that really knew her and loved her kind of understood, but a lot of people didn't. Even in my family, some of my siblings, they didn't get it. But that was funny to me because she was feisty. I just wonder what she was like back in the day. Because if you raising your cane at people, I know you was a dude. Okay, so now let's get back to this. Now we're talking about dementia and what it is and the different kinds and the difference between Alzheimer's and regular dementia. So Alzheimer's disease I'm sorry, accounts for 60 to 80% of cases. Now, some of this information may have changed some. So, don't quote me because this particular disease is on the rise. So it's on a rise. Um, okay, vascular dementia, which occurs because of microscopic bleeding and blood vessel blockage in the brain, is the second most common cause of dementia. Those who experience the brain changes, sorry, excuse me. Those who experience the brain changes of multiple types of dementia simultaneously have what they call mixed dementia. There are many other conditions that can cause symptoms of cognitive impairment, but that are not dementia, including some that are reversible, such as thyroid problems and vitamin deficiencies. Now, I'm going to stop right there. So what they're saying is, so when you have like full dementia, there is no cure. There is ways to maybe slow it down, or manage it, but there is no cure. But in this situation, when you have dementia symptoms that are caused by something else, those can be reversed, but you need to know. So, when you notice something different, you need to get it checked out because if it's like some from a medicine that you're taking, a medication, that could be reversed. Things like UTIs cause dementia symptoms that could be reversed. So, when things are different, or if you notice your loved ones are acting different, please, please, please don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Please get it checked out. Okay, so now let's continue on. Dementia is often incorrectly referred to as senility or senile dementia, which reflects the formerly widespread but incorrect belief that serious mental decline is a normal part of aging. Now, I know when I was younger, that's what they used to say when people got older and when think right, they see now, or another word for it, if they acted crazy was demented, and people just thought that that was just it. Oh, they acting like this and that's it, not trying, to understand it. So I'm really glad that times have advanced, things have advanced in the research and everything. So big shouts out to the Alzheimer's Association and other organizations that's trying to find a way to either, find out what's really starting this or find a way to, try to, I don't know if we can stop it, but at least try to control it. Okay, symptoms and signs of dementia. So, signs of dementia can vary greatly. Examples include short-term memory, meaning, like if you could lay something down and walk away and literally forget where you laid it at. That's what they mean. So it's like you can remember something that happened maybe like 5 years ago, but you can't remember something that happened 5 minutes ago. Another thing is keeping track of a purse or a wallet. That's what I mean. Like, you lay stuff down and forget. Paying bills. Things get confusing. So that's one thing, a reason why when people are suffering with this disease, they really need someone around them that understand it and that care, that could help. Let me see. The next one is planning and preparing meals because they literally will forget to eat. Remembering appointments. Very bad thing. That's the story of my life right now. Anyway, I probably need to get checked out. And I'm serious about that because, it's said that it could be genetic. And I know my mother had it, and I think my grandmother had a touch of it when she passed away, but we really wasn't educated on it then. So, traveling out of the neighborhood. So, gotta be careful with that because some people will wander. They will wander off and really don't even understand, how they got there, what they're doing, or nothing. Okay. Dementia symptoms are progressive, which means that the signs of cognitive impairment start out slowly and gradually get worse over time, leading to dementia. I'm sorry, I didn't read that right. Dementia symptoms are progressive, which means that the signs of cognitive impairment start out slowly and gradually get worse over time, leading to dementia. If you or someone you know is experiencing memory difficulties or other changes in thinking skills, please don't ignore them. Please see a doctor soon to find out what's the cause of it. Professional evaluation may detect a treatable condition. And even if symptoms suggest dementia, early diagnosis allows a person to get the maximum benefit from available treatments and provides an opportunity to volunteer for clinical trials or studies. It also provides time to plan for the future. So some of the causes of dementia is caused by a variety of diseases that cause damage to brain cells. This damage interferes with the ability of brain cells to communicate with each other. When brain cells cannot communicate, normal thinking behavior is affected. So they just start acting different. So that goes back to what I was saying with my mom, how she, was acting at the church. That was that was out of character for her. So, I didn't realize that it was dementia at that time, but I knew that it was something because, like I say, that wasn't her. And she also another thing that happened was this is really when I knew something was wrong because a couple of months after the church incident, she she called for me to come to the phone, and when I got there to her, because I lived in the house with her, so when I got there, she was on the phone and she was crying, and I'm like, what's wrong? So she was telling me that she was handing me the phone saying that the pharmacist from Walgreens wanted to talk to me. I get the phone. The pharmacist telling me that my mother called them crying because she picked up a medication bottle with her name on it, but she did not know what it was about. And it said that it was expiring or something like that, and she was all upset. So really, I'm thinking like, oh my God, what's going on? So I explained to the nurse that, that's different because I'm like, my mother she take her own medicine every day, So the nurse, she advised me to maybe take her to get checked out just to make sure that she didn't have a stroke or anything like that. So I get off the phone and I'm telling my mom, you need to get to the hospital to get you checked out. So she didn't want to go. She didn't want to go to the hospital. She, she got a little nervous, but she's like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. We don't have to go. So I made her an appointment anyway to get checked out. So, upon the first appointment, the doctor really couldn't tell anything. She was, they gave her the test, but my mother passed it. But I still knew stuff was different because, like I say, living with her, watching her behavior, and just stuff just wasn't right. So, I just kept watch on her. I just kept watching. About a year later, I took her. Actually, I took her to another doctor. I changed her doctor because I didn't like that particular doctor because it seemed like she just wasn't trying to find out what was going on with my mother. Everything that was happening, she just kept telling her, oh, you're old, you're old. So, needless to say, found another doctor that dealt more with seniors. And they diagnosed my mom with dementia. She had other things going on. She had high blood pressure. What else did she have? She had the edema in her legs. Yeah. So she was already dealing with some things, but nothing like this. When I tell you that my mother was sharp as a whip, this lady was sharp as a whip. So the brain has many distinct regions, each of which is responsible for different functions. So when cells in a particular region are damaged, that region cannot carry out its functions normally. So that's why, like with people with Alzheimer's, theirs hit hardest because Alzheimer's is actually brain deterioration, which means that dementia is going to come with that. Other forms of dementia you slowly decline over time. One of the worst, even though Alzheimer's is the top cause of dementia, and vascular dementia is the second, but FTD is the first. That is frontal lobe dementia, and that's the one that my mother suffered with. So that one is the worst. That's the front part. It controls the front part of your brain and the temple area. So it controls a lot that area up there. So let's continue on. Different types of dementia are associated with particular types of brain cell damage in particular regions of the brain. For example, in Alzheimer's disease, high levels of certain proteins inside and outside brain cells make it hard for brain cells to stay healthy and to communicate with each other. The brain region called the hippocampus is the center of learning and memory in the brain. And the brain cells in this region are often the first to be damaged. That's why memory loss is often one of the earliest symptoms of Alzheimer's. While most changes in the brain that cause dementia are permanent and worsen over time, thinking and memory problems caused by the following conditions may improve when the condition is treated or addressed: depression, medication side effects, excess use of alcohol, thyroid problems, vitamin deficiencies. So, diagnosis of dementia. So, I'm going to pause for a minute and ask you guys, like, if you know someone that's dealing with dementia, or you yourself are, drop it in the comments and let me know. Or if you need any resources or help on anything pertaining to it, drop it in the comments and let me know. Also, please hit that like and subscribe button so that I can get to where I'm trying to be. And don't forget to hit the bell, the notification, so we could continue on with this knowledge. So, let me see. Doctors can determine that the person has dementia with a high level of certainty, but it's harder to determine the exact type of dementia because the symptoms and brain changes of different dementias can overlap. In some cases, a doctor may diagnose dementia and not a specific type. If this occurs, it may be necessary to see a specialist, such as a neurologist, psychiatrist, psychologist, or geriatrician. So, right there, let me see where we're going to go with this now. So, we're going to go to dementia treatment and care. So, treatment of dementia depends on its cause. In the case of most progressive dementias, including Alzheimer's disease, there is no cure, but two treatments. This is called, let me pronounce this right, donanemab and lecanemab. Demonstrate that removing beta amyloid, one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease, from the brain reduces cognitive and functional decline in people living with early Alzheimer's. Others can temporarily slow the worsening of dementia symptoms and improve quality of life for those living with Alzheimer's and their caregivers. So they have some medications and different things that are supposed to help and slow them down. Me personally, I didn't really try a lot with my mom because you know how some medicines help for one thing and then they make something else worse. So that's what I found that was happening. Like, you know, it makes them lose sleep. They don't sleep. So the doctors tried to give me something to help with that, but it made her have hallucinations, and which was worse because already stuff like that comes with the disease, but it just made it worse. So I I did a lot of research and tried to come up with a lot of non-drug invasive ways of dealing with it. It's a lot of trial and error, guys. A lot of trial and error. So, you know, you gotta put your big girl panties on or your big boy drawers on or whatever to, you know, to stand up and, you know, be ready if you're helping someone with a situation like this, because first thing you have to remember is that it's not their fault. It is not. So anything that they do, don't take it personal. They may cuss you out from A to Z. Please don't take it personal, because the next 5 or 10 minutes, when they don't remember that they did it, they're not lying. They really don't remember. So please keep that up front. Do not take anything personal. One of the first rules in the don'ts of when you're a caregiver or a family member of someone with dementia. The second, do not ask questions. Worst thing ever to do with someone dealing with dementia or Alzheimer's. I know people think they're helping, but you're not, because in their mind, it's kind of confusing for them, and you don't want them to withdraw, because that's what happens when in their mind when they get too confused about things and they don't know how to react. They may just sit silent or they may just stare at you. But just know that that's because it's a lot of stuff going on up there that they can't make sense of. So when you see someone, do not say, "Do you remember me?" Do not say, "Do you know who I am?" or "Do you know your birthday?" Just do not ask them a bunch of questions. Try to keep stuff kind of open, or kind of set the conversation, but let them, finish. But worst thing ever to do is to ask them questions. Trust me, it makes things worse. Next thing, don't ever try to correct them. Ever. Don't ever try it. It will not work. It will drive you crazy. I'm sorry, I shouldn't use that word. But don't ever try to rationalize with them. Don't ever try to prove a point. In some ways, you get to become a liar, but it's okay because you're doing it for a good cause. So it's like, what is it called? By whatever means necessary. It's like you have to do what you have to do to keep your sanity and theirs at a certain level. So just trust me on this. If they say the sky is red, do not tell them that the sky is not red. You just look out there and you just say, "Oh, it sure is red." That's what you do. And trust me, if you follow that rule right there, oh my God, you will be amazed. Um, and let me see, just one more, guys. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me see real quick if I could find this. Hold on, please. Okay, I'm back. So, I couldn't find the other one I was talking about, but those are the main three. And another thing that you have to watch out for people that's dealing with dementia is very important. Um, Around your house, you have to keep things a certain way. You have to make sure you don't have things that look like shapes, or they create shadows, because um, their vision gets impaired. So they don't see things like we do. They don't. So, if they look across the room and say that it looked like it's a bird sitting on a tree, or they tell you, or they say, "Why is that bird sitting on a tree?" You don't have to try to let them know that it's not a bird. You need to figure out what it is that they're seeing that's causing this vision and get rid of it. Make sure you keep the house childproof, so to speak, because they are all risks. Make sure that you keep rugs out the way. Anything that blocks their passage, you have to keep them safe, because they don't know how to do this. So just know that first. It's really kind of like you raising a child all over again. So just get that perk in your mind. And it'll help you to deal with it better. If you could come to grips with that, it'll make it so much easier just to know, you know. And like I say, it's a lot of trial and sorry, a lot of trial and error because seeing my mom being the one vivacious woman that she was and watch her, climb, it it was so hard. But I couldn't let her see that in me, so it's rough. I don't want to get emotional. I want to try to stay focused. Um, so, like I say, bear with me. I'm new to this. Please, if you have any suggestions or if you just want to leave a comment, please drop them. And I will be back with some more. Like I say, I'm new to this, new to this, new to this. I'm trying to get it together. So thank you guys. I'm gonna go on and sign up for now and do my homework so I can come back tomorrow and be more prepared. And well, really, I am prepared because this thing right here, I'm really passionate about. I'm just not too prepared with the whole video and thing, and setting it up. Um, so at any rate, hit the like button, subscribe, and peace out.